People always ask me how I can go out and create documentation so quickly, and the secret is that I've got a system and a couple of tools that allow me to really pump out the documentation really easily. So in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I do that and how easy it is if you want to go out and do it as well. Now, the first thing that I do is I take screenshots of everything that I'm doing. And there's another trick that is really useful here, which is going out and using the Windows print screen to capture a screenshot. So for me, everything is step by step. So I start off and I'm here within my favorite product, Dynamics. And there's a folder within the pictures which is called screenshots, and right now that's empty. Now if I just go Windows key print screen, then that is going to create a screenshot of that and store it away within the screenshots folder, and we'll use that later on. So I've got one screenshot here, and usually what I do is I'm going out, and in this case maybe I want to document how to create a product within Dynamics. So I'm going to navigate here to where I need to be, and then I'm going to take a screenshot, and then I'm going to go into the form that I want to go into, and now I'm inside the form, and again I'll take a screenshot. Now I also want to go and create a new product here, so every step I'm taking a screenshot. And I could say this is A0003, and again, take a screenshot. And this is going to be an HDMI cable, 18-inch cable. And I'm with each step again, take a screenshot. Then I'm just going to say OK. And that's going to go out and create the product for me. So as I work through my steps, then I move from step to step and just take a screenshot. Now what that has given me is it's now given me all of these screenshots in order of the setup. So that's what I'm going to use to go out and start creating my presentation and the documentation from. So now that I've got my screenshots, I'm going to turn this into documentation. So all I'm going to do here is just copy them. And then I'm going to move back onto my workstation, and I've got a folder here for screenshots. And I'm just going to paste in those images. So now I've got the same images that I had before, except now it's on my workstation. This is where I'm going to go out and start creating my documentation. So now that I've got all of my screenshots, I'm going to turn that into a storyboard, and this is going to be the basis for my documentation. Now to do that, I just go into PowerPoint, and I'm going to create a new PowerPoint. And here's the PowerPoint. Now I am going to use a special template or theme that I have for my storyboard. So I'm going to go and create that, and now that'll create my storyboard template that I'm going to go out and create my articles from. Now this is a special template, and it has a number of different layouts that are associated with it. Now I'm going to change this to an article. This is an article showing me how to do something, and this is going to say new product creation. So now I have given this a title. Now I've got all those screenshots, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to import them in directly into the PowerPoint. So what this has done is this has gone and taken all of the screenshots that I had and then pasted them directly into this view. So now I've got an article, and then I've got these steps that I can work through. So now I'm going to start my documentation, and I'm going to go in here and I'm going to add a title. And this is my first page, so I'm going to add a little text here into my introduction section. Now there's other sections down here that I have in the template that do different things, and they have different roles within the documentation. But right now I just want to add an introduction into the view. And let's continue on, and notice I've got all these different steps here. Now this is where I've added some automation to the documentation, which is why I can go out and write documents so quickly. So what I've got is I've got this add-in here that goes out and composes for me or writes stuff. And I'm going to push that over to the side. And this is has a whole lot of shortcuts that are associated with it. Now this is a navigation option here. And I know that I can tell the system that this is the product information management, products, and released products. So this is just a shorthand that goes out and actually writes all of this code text for me. So this is my first step. I go out and I open up the form, and then this is going to say this: open these products form. And then I've got, in this case, I want to go out and do something. So I want to click on the new button up here. So I just say plus new, and it's added in that text for me. Then this is going to say this opens the product setup form. And here I have the product master. And I'm putting values into the field. So I'm just going to say A003. Notice that it's going out and filling in all of this for me. And I'm going to say, I need a product number. So now I've created the documentation. I've only got 2 more steps left. And then I need to update the description. And I'm going to use the field option again to update all of this. And again, the objective, give it a name. Now, I made a mistake here because this is going straight over to this form. So what I can do is I can chain commands together, and I need to go and type in that name and then click OK. So notice it built all of that for me and updated the description. And then the result is I have a new product. Now this is a summary form, so I'm just going to change the summary here and finish off my documentation. So I've gone out and created a new product. I'll add a little bit of an introduction here. And I'm done with the actual documentation. Now, this is only part of it. What I want to do is now I want to go out and create a guide from it. So I go out and I choose the guide option from the template here, and I'm going to tell the system to compose all of the slides. So what this will do is this goes and takes all of the information that we've got over here on the left hand side and builds up the text based on however I want to format the documentation. So now it's gone out and really created a custom view here of all of the documentation and all the walkthroughs. So now I have my storyboard completed. I can go and I can publish this. So I've got a publish option here, and I can go out and I can see the structure of my document. And I'm just going to say I want to create a walkthrough, and I've got all these templates out here, and I'll create a guide. And rather than go out and hand paste all of this information in, all I do is I just say I want to create a document. So in the background, it's going out and creating that document. And if I pull over the Word document, then we'll actually see it being built. So it has the introduction, it has my steps, it's formatting everything properly for me. And also for this, I'm going out and creating step-by-step instructions inside the view. So notice it's going out and just building all of this for me. So I've got my new product creation and how to do it. And the final step is a summary, which says I have a new product. So now if I look at this, then I've actually got all of my documentation that's written for me, and it's all nicely formatted. And also I've got a title page and some other boilerplate that's associated with this walkthrough. So I've done this, and I've done really just a minimal amount of work. Now, there's something else that I can do here as well. And maybe I want to create some training documentation and create a PowerPoint. So what I can do is I can go out and select a PowerPoint template. And I'm just going to tell the system to go out and create the presentation for me. So it's taking all the information from this main PowerPoint, which really isn't in the format that I'd like for a customer-facing document. And it's gone out and used that template and built a nice little formatted document for me that then I can use for presentations. Now, one last thing that I'll show before I finish off this example is that maybe sometimes you want to protect your document. So what I can do is I can add a watermark to this, and I'm going to choose a different logo here. And if I go back to my create the document again, then I'm going to create the same PowerPoint, and it's then going to add whatever image I chose into the PowerPoint. So now you can see that all of my images here are protected, and they've got a logo in it, so no one can really go out and sort of steal this IP from me. So in a nutshell, this is how I go out and create my documentation. I've got a little bit of automation that's associated with it, but if I go out and if I take screenshots of all of my steps and then put them into my AuthorTools format, then I can go out and just crank out the documentation all day long, and it really doesn't take that much time. So I hope that this was insightful. It sort of shows you how I go out and document things, and also how I create documentation and PowerPoints and other resources for people as well.